All right. What you remember about the Yanti with a roll of 12? They're bad. Yeah.
They were a bad time.
Yeah. What you can remember is that by and large they are nasty. I'm going to say that geographically wise, the Yanti are like the orcs of your continent. So up here, kind of a universally hated race because they're very, violent and evil and generally concerned with just being mean and taking shit over as the orcs. And where you're from, you're like, oh, that's the Yanti, these snake people.
Okay. So yeah, the Yon T sounds like snake people. They were they were the bad part of the orcs down south. That by bad part I mean you know how the orcs have different personalities. The Yuan-Ti were like all the bad portions of the orcs. None of the good.
And all the same stuff that goes along with snakes goes along with Yanti. So, like, there's all the same. Never chase a Yanti into its den.
Yes, never chase a Yuan-Ti into its den. They spit at you. Some of them bite. Some of them get really, some of them like to hug you for some reason. I don't understand that story, but... And I don't know why hugging is bad, but...
Natural enemy of the rat people?
Yeah.
They seem to be natural enemy of the rat people, the bird people, the insect people.
And even other snake people.
Yes, unless they are having party.
Snake people are actually more racist, because there's two types of snake people.
I think there's like a dozen.
And the one type of snake people always ruins it when the other snake people have a good time. When I'm at the ATM looking over my shoulder...
You're ruining it. You're butchering it, man.
I'm not looking out for the media. Anyways.
Yes.
Are any of the Yuan-Ti based on garter snakes?
Probably like the peasant Yanti. The servant class Yanti are based on, garter snakes and smaller insect-eating snakes.
But once a year, all those servants gather up and they form a great big ball, and you don't want to be standing near said ball.
Gross.
That's how the Yanti do. All right. So I'm going to say shortly under a day, so a little less than 8 hours of travel, this dwarven guide who is leading you down through some of these tunnels, the Quickwick Mining Company tunnels. And Murgatroyd is just the whole time being like, well, that's shoddy construction right there. Oh, look at those support beams. The rest of you guys think they look great. See, support beams look really fine. Murgatroyd's like, they'll come down in the slightest bump. It's a disaster. Oh, God, I can't even bear to look at it.
Sorry, John, if I can just cut in. It's like less than a day's ride? I thought it was like 3 days.
Not to where you're going. Not to where the snake people were.
Okay, then in that case, I'd like to just get real quiet and spend the take 20 or whatever, as it were, on my, activating my blood power to try and like feel like if we're getting closer to them, sort of thing.
Okay, excellent. Yes. Murgatroyd's constant bad mouthing of the Quickwick clan and their construction techniques is a little irksome until Elliott shushes him, and Murgatroyd just does his dwarf grumble. But yeah, as you start to get, near the end of the trek, you reach a point where the dwarven guide starts to lead you guys almost vertically up a shaft. Now there's a ladder-like handholds and footholds carved into the side of this air shaft, and you have to climb your way out of it. No climb roll necessary. They're well built and easy to get out, despite what Murgatroyd says. And no sooner do you get kind of out of the caves and into the very damp and swampy air of the area here, that Elliot, you start to get that feeling and hear those same whispers in your head again. They are unfocused and aren't really saying anything legible right now. Like being in a room full of people and they're all having a conversation, it's hard to narrow in on just one. The top of this air shaft is banked all around by big heavy sandbags and makeshift bulwarks to kind of keep the swampy marshland out. As you can see that this area is going to need to be drained, or further upstream will have to be dammed, or something will have to be redirected for this area to be used efficiently as air shafts without flooding the mines underneath. Your guide leads you down a path for a short period of time, but he very quickly becomes superfluous as Elliot, you can sense the presence of powerful and strong-minded snakes in this direction.
I'll relay that information to the party.
When you say that, the dwarf is just like, okay, well then, you're good, and I'm out. I'll meet you back by the mouth of the air shaft. And
does he have our instructions? Like, you want us to just like clear them out? Do you want? Okay. Do I remember him saying like, "Bring us the head of the leader" or whatever, or just like?
No, they're gonna trust you. The Rod Stewarts. You guys are trustworthy. If you say they're all dead, they're gonna believe you're all dead.
Okay. Just wondering.
All right. Elliot leads you guys further into the swamp. You try and stick to the high ground as much as you can, but it's not too long before you're all soaked up to your knees, your boots, finding an errant place that looks like mossy ground, but as soon as you step on it, you slurp right down into the boggy earth. But Elliot's unfaltering direction leads you to what looks like a stone structure that has sunk, and not sunk evenly into the ground. There is a black opening of a doorway that is half covered with vines and creeping moss and mold. It's really difficult to make out any definition on this structure other than it used to be made of stone, large chunks of stone. It looks like maybe there was reliefs carved onto it, but the time and the plant life and everything has carved away big portions of it, and it's too far gone. You can't even make out what this used to be a temple to. But the doorway that leads in and down into the darkness is half submerged in water. You're in like a real Dagobah situation going on here in this place above the Five Peaks, deep in the forest here. I'll ping it on the map.
So we're in a forest. We're no longer in the actual caves.
No. You've came up to the surface. You're still really quiet too, Jay. I don't know if you got your gain turned down or something on your mic.
Yeah, I don't know. 1 second.
Well, Jack will put up shield and head inside.
Hang on.
Very carefully.
Hang on 1 second. So we're outside of this sort of temple. It's like a small church?
Yes. It's tough to say. It's definitely stone, and it looks churchy. You're not sure how big it is because parts of it are in disrepair, and it looks to be, at least a third sunken into the bog.
Jack, are you familiar with this style of church? And Murgatroyd, are you familiar with this sort of construction? Like, do you know what we should plan for? Is there are there entryways that are likely to be guarded by these guys if they're of that sort?
Can Jack roll a religion to determine if this is more of a church or more of a abbey?
Yes. Yeah. Nice. Good roll, Jack. All right. Jack kind of tentatively and carefully approaches this half-sunken stone structure. And in order to get up close to the walls, you have to step off kind of a bit of a mossy log area and go into about shin-deep water where you tread carefully, not knowing where there might be a sudden sinkhole. You can see little critters, some frogs and salamanders, leap off the logs and skitter away as you're exploring. You get up close to this thing, and it's tough to tell. Nature really has done a number on this thing, but it doesn't look big enough to be an abbey. A church is your guess. And you get up close to one wall and yank down a bunch of vines, and you are struck by a particular arrangement of some symbols and sigils here. This is a place of evil. You've seen these before on your home continent, and they, being a holy man yourself, you understand that people build temples even to evil gods, but still, it's like what kind of business goes on in the church of an evil god might not necessarily be the kind of thing that you want to be a part of.
Very tacky. Bad taste.
The voices that I heard before, did it sound like they're on their guard? Like, are they, waiting? Is this kind of a... I know I heard, like, presence, but are they... Is this like a battle encampment, or are they just kind of set up here?
Make an insight check for me, please.
Bonk.
You get the general feeling of relax, but there's a hint of something else to it, an edge, as though there's currently relax going on, but there's something else. And also, very, very faintly, you get a tinge of madness.
Okay. Well, are we all on the same page? Like, I know that these are like snake men. Are we all on the same page that we're not just going to go in guns blazing? That we're going to at least try and diplomatize first?
I thought we were to clear them out.
Yeah, but we could just convince them to leave. I mean, it's what we normally do, but like we did with the Beholder and everything.
That is true, but Jack for once is very much on side of kill them all.
Right. Well, I'm certainly not... I'm not saying that that's not a possibility.
Maybe not all of them.
I think mainly I'm just,
kill a good number of them.
This is the first time that my power has been kind of forefront, and I'd like any opportunity to make it stronger without going over to some dark side or whatever. But yeah. Well, we'll just use our best judgment. Let's go.
We could get you Gutter Snake.
Thanks. It's very kind.
Yeah. You definitely, as we can get you Garter Snake, you look around and you're like, shit, there are snakes around. They're just kind of everywhere, but they're keeping a distance, like maybe about 30-foot distance around you, but you look up and you're like, that's not vines. That tree's covered in snakes. Oh shit, that log over there, it's covered in water snakes. You're just kind of, now all of you look up and start actually actively looking for them, and yeah, you guys are surrounded by tons of snakes.
Cool.
Now, does it seem like they're drawn to this place, or they're keeping back from this place?
No,
or are they guarding this place?
It's a little bit strange. They're drawn to this place, but they are all staring right at Elliott. And they've given him a space, like if you sprinkle pepper grounds in some water and then put in a drop of soap.
I'll speak in like parcel tongue and ask point to the temple and say what's going on in there.
You get a bunch of mixed messages back from the snakes, who are, they just have snake intelligence. So you get like the image of a snake god.
Oh,
Like the master, the one, a god, our god.
I'm gonna try and like beckon them to me to get them to kind of swarm and follow me like the kids in Indiana Jones.
Make a diplomacy check, please.
Bonk. I'm gonna bump that.
All right.
I don't want my first thing to be a crit fail.
All right.
Have him
The,
cover him.
the snakes just kind of stay. They keep their distance, but all eyes are still on Elliott.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Are you going to try and stealth your way in here?
If I can I attempt to use my power to reach out like Batman vision and detect enemies like inside this first wall or whatever?
Yes. Make a. I'm not sure. Just roll a d20 and let's.
Wisdom's
see what
nice and low.
happens. All right. So you guys watch as Elliott kind of shakes himself out and cracks his neck, and then puts his hands to either side of his head and begins to relax and then strain at the same time. His breathing increases as he's trying to focus, and one of the veins kind of stands out on his forehead as he's concentrating harder than you've ever seen Elliott concentrate before. And yes, Elliott, you see the inside of this temple. You see a dark room, but it's strange because you're human. You don't have dark vision, so you're seeing the first time what dark vision is like. So it's like infrared vision. You're seeing things in black and white in a dark room, and you see maybe some pillars that appear to be faintly glowing, and curled up around these large pillars are enormous snakes that are just kind of curled up around these pillars as though they're sleeping. And then the viewer, the eyes that you're looking through, kind of turn away and slither back to a dark corner where it then curls up on itself, and the eyes all you end up now seeing is another part of a snake body.
Okay, but I didn't see like any big snake men in there.
No.
Okay. I don't think we need to stealth. I'll look for traps on the entrance and let's go in.
Excellent. You search for traps around the entrance, and there are none, but it is about ankle-deep water as you kind of slush your way through this doorway into the pitch-black center of this once grand church. So those of you with dark vision can see, which I think is just Murgatroyd.
Jack, do you have low light or dark vision?
Nope.
Can I see in low light?
I'm not sure if Eladrins have low light vision or not.
I remember Eladrin being able to see. Vince could see in that first tomb at the very first session.
I'll check.
It probably is the case. It's just something that hasn't come up for a while.
I think Jack will have to take out Torch.
Yeah, Eladrins have low light vision.
Cool. But this is like pitch dark?
This is pitch dark, yes. You'll need some type of light in order for anybody to see at all. Like Murgatroyd and Vince can see a little bit because of the gray light that's filtering through the door from the swamp outside. But for the most part, it's pitch black. So
I'll do my last sunrod.
okay, Elliott cracks open the sunrod and bwam! Immediately blinding light fills this space, which you can see used to be kind of a receiving area for some type of dark church. The tapestries and paintings and relief carvings that used to adorn the walls are same as outside, covered in mold and fungus and rotten vines. So if you wanted to spend a little time clearing them away, you might be able to get a better look at some of the old carvings. But the tapestries just melt like mush in your hands, and same as the paintings. However, there is a little corridor kind of across this receiving area, which is quite large, and ankle-deep water around the whole way. And now that you're inside this, the remains of this church, you can hear the sound become baffled, as though the construction was built to keep in sounds and keep out the sounds of the outside. And you can hear the sounds of crying deeper in the thing, and then a voice that speaks in a language that none of you understand. Even you, Elliott, because it's not the parcel tongue, says something, and you hear the sounds of meat slapping on meat.
So, gang, was this structure built by snake men or built for the express purpose? Like it was built in the name of this evil god?
You have no idea. If you can
Yes.
identify the evil god, that might be able to help.
Was it built by dwarves?
No, it was not built by dwarves.
This is terrible. It's obviously not made by dwarves.
Yeah, it wouldn't have sunk if it was made by dwarves.
Clearly. I mean, the dwarves are doing their best to clean up swamp. Dwarves know how to build.
Yes, if someone would like to try a religion check and clear some of the vines and moss away from one of the altars that's here, you might be able to get a look at what's going on.
Jack? Ooh.
Oh, I was going to make a roll, but I'm not even going to make a roll now. So, Jack, in clearing away some of the, scrape some of the moss and vines, something stings your hand very sharply. And you look down, and some of this, one of this cluster of moss has, big hawthorn stinging nettle needles. And the wound where it punctured your palm, it starts to burn and itch right away.
Herpes temple.
Jack curses evil gods.
Yeah, he sure does. You're looking down, and the little puncture wound now has a raised hickey around it, and it's starting to swell.
Jack will attempt to quickly treat wound in case it is poison.
Make a heal check, please. Good heal check. All right, Jack whips out his belt knife from its holster and cuts away a chunk of his palm, but is able to flick the very end of the stinging nettle out of the wound. And then you cram a bunch of healing herbs in your mouth and chew them up until they're nice and salivy, and then spit them on, and then wrap your hand in a cloth. However, any use of that hand is now going to be at -5.
Wow.
Yeah, your
Lovely.
fingers are all swelling up like sausages, and they're pins and needles here. So anything you're going to do with that hand is going to be -5. So swinging your two-handed axe, -5.
Jesus.
Good thing the shield is strapped to arm.
And you still did not identify the god that this temple was made to.
Doesn't matter. Jack crushes Bug with spear, and then says, "Screw it," and proceeds to go into temple.
Okay, it wasn't a bug; it was a plant.
Jack cuts the
Crush
plant
puny
with
plant.
spear, then crushes it, then go into temple.
Excellent. All right, if you guys could get yourselves into this yellow circle I've made over here and make sure that all of your stats are correct, please. Your health and healing surges.
Would we have gained any surges on our way to there?
No, because it's just been one day. So you guys are getting here, just shortly after dinner. So it's kind of nightfall-y. And Elliott.
Should we be able to see stuff?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just firing up
I
Elliott's
just
sunrod
turned
here.
myself around. I can see now. I can see my cone. I was just facing, I guess, nothing.
I can't see anything. You're right in front of a wall.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Elliott's sunrod immediately illuminates the room as you step in. As you get closer to this room, you can hear more sounds of violence and abuse. Excellent. You step through this decayed archway where the moss and stuff. There's a slight rise in the ground, which gives way to firmer footing, although the stones are still covered with a slick layer of mud. You look down into this room and see several cloaked and individuals. Some of them have big swords. The room is covered with rotted shreds of tapestry hanging from the walls, mixed with vines and moss and mold. There's rubble. The floor is covered with thick puddles in some places. You can see 4 humans that are obviously Jurek, which you recognize from your travels, in the middle of the room, and they are being abused by these cloaked figures, which are kind of standing around. Who's got a passive perception of higher than 12?
I do. 20.
Excellent. Some of these puddles seem darker, as though the floor slants down over here and gets deeper, and also over here the water seems to be much deeper. This was once a staircase that led down, but it is completely flooded. So once you step into the room with the sun-rod, all eyes quickly turn to you, and they look away from these 3 Jurek, which is 2 men and 2 men and 2 women, although one of the women is lying on the ground, obviously dead.
Quick question. What is Jurek?
Jurek is the nation to the north. I'll flip you back over to the world map here.
Oh, right.
All right, so you guys are mostly from Anwire, which is down here, and they're the Anurians. And the land to the north here is called the Jurek Highlands.
Yes, you mentioned that last session. Thank you.
Beauty.
I forgot.
That's all right. Little recap for Josh. So yes, you remember hearing some stuff about Jurek refugees fleeing some type of terrible war that's going on in the north, and they're trying to get through this valley. And that's one of the things the dwarves want it cleared out for their own purposes, but it would also help because the Jurek who are trying to flee have been unable to get through these swamps because of the snake men.
Okay. I'll point my sunrod at them and go for an intimidate shout and say, "Take us to your leader." Aha!
We starting another
All right.
religion?
Sorry?
We starting another religion again?
That's the plan.
Can we understand what he's going on about, or is he speaking in Snake Man?
I don't know. Are you speaking in Anurian?
No, parcel tongue for sure.
Parcel tongue. All right. So they turn and aim their weapons at you guys and speak in their strange clickety-clack sounding tongue, which I guess you recognize a little bit, Jack, because you've heard this language spoken in your South American continent, right? It'd be like if you hear Russian, you know it as Russian, but you might not understand what they're saying. But they charge you guys.
Sorry, guys. I tried to just fast track this one.
Oh, that's my
Yep.
fault.
I charge them back.
Roll-
Everyone charge!
Roll initiative, please.
Wow, good initiative checks, everyone.
Crazy. Never have.
Is it Tim that has some crazy shit that like boosts all the initiative by like 10?
Oh yeah, he has to activate it though, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts.
We'll do it for the boss fight. Yeah, I was hoping to just like get them to take us to the whatever temple leader, and we do like we did with the orcs and convince them to serve us, sort of thing.
Through punch negotiations.
I don't know. I'd have to do some kind of snake dance or some shit.
It worked
really
perfectly
good
last
initiative
time.
rolls, guys. Really good.
Slithering competition.
So Hatim goes first.
I'm gonna hold my action till everyone else moves.
Okay. In that case, the warriors go next. Hang on, I gotta turn my light on. Yeah, these guys have got pretty high initiative bonus. All right, so now when they charged, especially these warrior guys that are about to do the business end of the charging, slough off the long black coats to free up both arms as they now wield great swords. And you can see that they are just humans. They have like a little bit of either dirt or face paint on to make themselves look a little darker and gaunter, but they are humans. 2, 3, 4. So that first one's just going to charge Murgatroyd.
Can I countercharge him?
If you had readied an action, if you had gone before and readied an action, all that jazz. That's 25 versus your AC, which I know is not enough. All right, then this one is going to run over here and leap from that square across the stairs to charge Elliott. Oh,
Bring it.
Boo earns. It's a 22 versus your AC.
That's a hit.
Oh, hooray for me.
I got rid of the shield and leather armor after the war.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 8 points of damage from his greatsword.
Right, Jack no longer has leather armor.
Ooh, and then does a 21 hit your fortitude?
Or no, he has chainmail. Never mind.
For Elliott?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
You are poisoned.
Ouch.
Yeah, 5 points of ongoing poison damage, which I've logged into the Wussnamer. And the last big, beefy, snake-tongue warrior over here is just going to flex his muscles and proffers. You know what? No, what he's going to do is step forward and kill one of these Juriks.
No.
Just cut them right down. Elliott, take 5 points of ongoing poison damage, and then it's your turn.
Will I save against that?
At the end of your turn.
Copy that.
Oh, what's the blue meter?
Whoop. That's weird. That's my healing surges, but it's supposed to be...
The blue one? Is blue your healing surges? We've been using...
green or red?
Red.
We've been using red.
Yeah, you got it backwards. In the token thing, the first box is your current, and the second box is your total. Right? The red bar is is correct if you just change it to a 3. There you go, buddy.
There we go. Okay. Is this a wall here? Can I just run past and get up to the Juriks?
This is to denote where the edge of the staircase is. So yes, okay. You can jump over there.
And is that also a dude? Is that's also
a snake.
A snake man?
Yes.
Snake.
Okay. I don't suppose I'll get combat advantage for the Jurik guy, right?
No, you will not.
Okay, I'm going to bait and switch him.
Okay.
28 versus Will.
Yes, that is a hit.
Nice. Okay. And he has not acted yet, so it's actually 31, and for 17 points of damage, we switch places, and I'll slide 3 squares.
Excellent. So he goes into your square, and you slide 3 squares. Perfect. So Elliott leaps across the gap to the staircase, runs up to this guy, stabs him in his side with his newly recaptured bloodsteel dagger, using the momentum of that pirouette to drop this human to the ground where he expires. And Elliott slides across the slightly muddy floor over to where the other snake-tongue warrior stands.
Man, I missed this thing. Now, endurance to save?
No, just a regular saving throw. You succeed. Nice.
Oh, 12. Okay, so. Okay.
Murgatroyd, your turn, sir.
Can I shift over this staircase lip thing?
Yes.
Alright, I'll just shift over, smack him, and mark him. It's a 15 versus AC, I don't think.
15 versus AC is not a hit. You step over and smack with diplomacy, but he's able to get his greatsword around to smack diplomacy out of the way. There is some surprising muscle hidden beneath this particular human's clothing.
Alright, well, he takes 3 damage.
All right. Vince, your turn.
Okay. I'm just going to go up here and curse him. Try to end him.
Shit.
Goddamn.
Yeah, 31 versus AC hits.
For 22.
22 points of damage. once again, back in rare form, Vince whips out the racist trident, which you guys have a quick remembrance of being chased out of the town of Winter's Haven due to these racist tridents, and now you remember why, as it easily slices through the air, carving a big chunk out of the side of this creature.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Jack, your turn.
Jack is going to stand right where he is and just smack the guy in front of him.
Okay.
Versus AC. Been a long time since I've gotten to do that. Fail at hitting, that is.
Yes, 15 is a fail against his AC. All right, would you like to move, Jack, or stay where you're at?
Yeah, I'm fine with where I'm at.
If it makes any difference, I should have done one less damage, I think.
I would say that you were momentarily inspired to do extra damage by the fact that you haven't had a chance to swing your trident in a while. And as it carves out blood, you feel joy, as though this trident enjoys killing. And you get a momentary sensation, the voice deep in your mind, your grandfather's voice, that says, "These are a lesser race. They should be wiped out. They should be cleansed." That's racial cleansing. All right. This guy over here is going to charge at Vince. Oh, no, he's not. He is going to crit fail as he's running towards Vince. And I say he makes it to you, Vince, but then he falls prone right at your feet, slipping on the uneven, muddy ground.
Can he slip onto my trident?
No, you're still going to have to actually kill him.
Oh.
This one up here is going to skitter across, splashing through some of the water. Oh, sorry. This one up here is going to skitter across, splashing through some of the ankle-deep water here at the edge of this deeper pool. He draws his dagger and moves towards this poor Jurek survivor, this man, who he misses, but they kind of are now locked in a struggle, holding onto each other's wrists, fighting over the dagger. This guy over here pulls back some of the moss and vinery that is covering the wall and reveals a lever sticking out of the wall here. He puts one hand on the lever and looks to this warrior, but the warrior just shakes his head. Did I do all of them? Yeah, I did all of them. Whoops. Hatim. That's the end of the initiative order, Hatim.
Just give me 2 seconds. My character sheet is just coming up.
Excellent.
29.
Which guy are you striking there, Hatim? Oh, I guess the warrior that's closest to you. Beauty,
Yeah,
that is a
guy.
hit.
So it's 11 points of damage there.
All right. Hatim dances his runic dance, tracing the lines. This time, not only do you see them glow with divine energy, but they leave trails in the mud that is scattered on the ground here. Although, Hatim, you'll know that as you continue the dance, you'll be tracing over each rune and over each rune. They still will be effective, though, and they're very effective as the runic fury flows up through his body and into his weapon, smashing it into the face of this snake-tongue warrior who grins. And you see how they got their namesake at this time as he licks a little bit of blood off of his lip, and you can see that they have modified their own tongues by carving a slit down the middle to make them appear more snake-like.
Ugh.
All right, Snake Tongue Warrior number 1 is going to shift back over here in almost like a slithery, snakish kind of way, and he will attack Murgatroyd. Oh, I am going to hit you. One of these guys is going to hit you, Murgatroyd. That one is a 19 versus your AC, so not that attack, but it's going to happen. Snake Tongue Warrior number 2 rears back his greatsword to attack Hatim, and he gets a 31 versus your AC.
Oof. Yeah, man.
Oh, I rolled minimum damage. 4 points of damage. So he gets a mighty blow, but he's still caught off balance a little bit by you smacking him in the face with your mace. So the sword kind of catches you more on the flat of the sword as opposed to the blade. The final Snake Tongue Warrior, put by Elliott. He's going to look at you, Elliott, and just kind of look you right in the eyes as he lowers his sword onto one of the other prisoners. Because you're so close, Elliott, I'm going to give you the option to throw yourself in the path of this sword.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Does a 20 hit your AC?
Oh, by 1. Yeah, but I won't bump it.
All right. So, Elliott, you fling yourself in the path get your dagger up to try and block the blow, but as the force and the weight of the sword drives the dagger down, and the sword comes just like the awesome ending of Rob Roy, where he just uses the claymore and cuts right down into his shoulder. Oh, Jesus, 13 points of damage. It goes deep into your shoulder. You can hear some cartilage and stuff cut. It nicks onto your collarbone. You're not sure if it's broken or cracked or what, but god damn it, that hurt. Elliott, your turn.
I'll shout to the Jurek guy, get clear, and I'm going to riposte strike this guy.
All right.
So that's a 17 versus AC. Does that hit?
No.
I'm going to bump it with my heroic resolve, so that's a 21 versus AC. Does that hit?
Yes, a 21 hits their AC.
Okay, so that is 13 damage.
Beauty, and he is riposted.
Okay, so next time he attacks, I interrupt first. Can I use my thievery thing to grab a shuriken out of my bag as a minor?
Yes, if you make a thievery check at DC 16, because we'll say that you made the shurikens are like in an easy to access pouch. Yeah. Perfect.
Well, we never, we talked about that utility belt thing, and we never finished up with it, but we can just pretend.
Play it by ear, and things that are like shurikens and healing potions and stuff, they're going to be easy to get at, but things like rations and bedrolls and stuff are going to be a little harder, so we'll just modify the DCs accordingly.
Okay, I'd still like to have the utility belt thing just so it's a little more game friendly, but...
Yeah, once you get a belt built for you and everything, we will definitely figure out for you, and you can make a list on your character sheet of where everything is located, and we'll even put a DC by each one so you know beforehand the DC.
Sick.
Getting all that stuff. Throw some bedrolls, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's my turn.
Would you like to move?
Did the Jurek guy move? Oh yeah,
she ran away.
Okay. And these two are locked in combat.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna shift back 1.
Okay.
Oh wait. No, I'm gonna stay right where I am because he's gonna attack. Yeah, I'm good.
Murgatroyd, your turn.
I'm gonna shift 1 over and then hit him with a cleave.
Oh, that hits.
So the main hit will be against the guy that's marked, and then the 3 damage will be against the guy that's bent over.
Excellent. Murgatroyd whips diplomacy around, catching that first guy in the face, and then kind of pivoting on your toes, driving one knee down, using the full momentum of your body, following that gesture of your knee down to bring your hammer down, slam it in the side of that other snake tongue guy's head, and just push his head right to the ground. So the first thing is diplomacy cracks into the side of his head, then his head cracks into the ground, and then you follow your weight through to push diplomacy even further. You hear the crunching sound of this guy's skull, and he dies.
Minor action, I'll give like a high five to Midge.
Vince, your turn.
Here. And try to hit this guy again, I guess.
Beauty. Vince kind of takes that high
Crit
five.
fail.
You gonna bump it? Or?
Take the high five to the face. I don't think I have any bump points.
Okay, so
Or I do have one from role playing all fancy at one point.
So you can bump it if you like, or just take the crit fail. You're gonna save your bump?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. In that case, so you're back here. You step forward. Murgatroyd's giving you the high five. You give him the high five and go to kind of leap over this fallen dude and Murgatroyd's hammer, but you trip on Murgatroyd's arm and end up on top of Murgatroyd. You're both prone. Jack, your turn. Murgatroyd and Vince just kind of collapsed in a heap on top of each other.
The moment got the best of them.
Okay. I have a plan. It's going to incur an attack of opportunity. I'm gonna charge this guy over here. I'm gonna have to go through this square to do it, so this guy here will get an attack of opportunity on me.
All right. So as you run past that guy, he gets a 29 versus your AC.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
And that is 11 points of damage. He whips his greatsword around, kind of laughing at Murgatroyd and Vince falling into a heap, and catches you on the backhand swing. But you make it over to that guy.
And I'll do my attack.
Okay.
The goring charge, of course.
Yeah, of course. Unfortunately, that's a tie with their AC, and ties go to the defender. So you can bump that if you like, or just take the miss.
Yeah, I have no bump points.
Okay, perfect. So Jack, in running over there, you gave him enough of a notice. He's in a grapple. You get combat advantage.
There you go.
I'll take it.
So that is a hit. What's your damage?
Oh, I do damage.
You do.
And that's all for my horns. So even if he's bear hugging me, that's going into him.
That's perfect. Yeah, you lower your head as you charge in, catching him on your horns. Classic tossing the matador style. You feel both horns penetrate deep into his body, piercing vital organs as you fling him into this murky, stagnant pool, which begins to redden with his blood. He's dead.
Oh. Wait, question.
Yes?
Would that count as killing a monster with my bare hands?
No.
Damn it.
I put that bump point in because you got to choke him out or beat him to death with your bare hands. It is a brutal bump point to earn.
I could have earned it once. Long before I got that bump point.
It's true. All right, this last guy over here panics and flips the lever down, and then he flings a dagger at Elliott. 24 versus your AC, Elliott.
Wow, I am getting ruined. That's a hit.
1 point of damage. Hatim, your turn.
I'm just going to. Does the blood coming off that guy's nose mean that he's bloodied?
No. It was just colorful text. I will let you know in very specific words when they're bloodied.
Okay, I'm gonna make another basic. After coming down, I'm gonna come back up and try and hit him in the face again.
22, excellent, yes. The fancy footwork as you shift your weight from toe to heel to inscribe another rune with your dance enables you to bring the mace back up into the bottom side of this creature's face for further damage.
That was... One sec, that was 2 weapon. Should only be 1 weapon.
Okay, so it's just 10 damage instead of 7.
So it's 19, rather. Oh, wait. Yes, okay. Sorry, I'm all confused. Yeah, 22 to hit, 13 points of damage.
Got it. Excellent, nice one. All right, this Snake Tongue warrior is going to shift into this space and then attack Hatim. No, 16 I'm sure does not hit your AC, Hatim. And now this one is going to shift into that space. And he's just going to attack the pile. So I will roll a d6, and odds it's Murgatroyd, and evens it's Vince. Evens, it's Vince. 19, 20, 21 hit your AC, Vince.
I believe so. Yeah.
10 points of damage as he brings the greatsword down with 2 hands, executioner style, slamming it into your spine. And your nice little floor buddy hug with Murgatroyd turns into your screaming into his ear. Okay, the last Snake Tongue warrior guy up here, he once again looks Elliott right in the face as he shifts over to this square here, going into about knee-deep water. So now he's in difficult terrain, which means he can't shift out of there. But he's going to attack the last Jurek standing there. Elliott, would you like to fling yourself in the path of the blade once more?
Would I? I don't spend... Can I get a bonus to whatever because I have that riposte strike ready, or...
No, that's only if he specifically attacks you.
Yeah.
This time I rolled poorly. 13, 18 versus your AC.
No. Aha.
All right, so you leap in front of him this time, but get your buckler up and block the blow. He kind of hisses a little curse at you as the points of his forked tongue escape through his lips before his teeth close down. Elliott, your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna shirk and attack the guy with the lever. Can I tell what that lever did?
Make a perception check, please. You're not 100% sure, but you can sense like there's ripples in the water, and maybe you hear the very faint sound of hissing coming from behind this door.
Okay, shirk and attack him.
Okay.
26 versus AC?
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Okay. Just gotta double check how much damage that does.
It does enough to kill him. Your shuriken flies into his
yeah.
throat. His hands reach up and grasp the wound as you see blood pour between his fingers, and he gurgles, drops to his knees, and then drops to his face.
Okay, I'm gonna shout to the jerk guy behind me. Get behind the cow. The cow will protect you.
He does. Murgatroyd, your turn.
I'm gonna, for my minor, I'll neck a potion.
Okay.
It's a standard to stand up or something.
It's a move action to stand up.
Is it a move into is it considered a shift?
No, there's a feat that you have to take if you want to shift while you're standing up.
I guess I will.
We could make something up. If you make a dexterity check at, let's say, DC 17, then you can stand up and shift at the same time. But if you fail, you're going to end up prone in that square.
I'm just trying to get out of the same spot. Can I stand up and push Vince to the other square?
No, because Vince is also prone, so you'd have to kick roll Vince to the other square. But because okay, so you guys are lying down. Vince is more or less on top of you. You're underneath. I'm gonna say you can use a minor to make a strength check to shove Vince off of you before you stand up. But because it's a minor, it's gonna be a strength check at DC 18.
Is it strength mod plus half level?
Yes. No, unfortunately, you should shove Vince, but you're able to get Vince off of you, but she does not leave your square. So Vince is still will be lying at your feet after you stand up.
All right. I guess since I'm still standing up, I'll reaping strike the snake.
All right. So your momentum is lost by standing up, but you still do your reaping strike damage.
Yeah, I'll do 3.
Excellent. Vince, your turn. Murgatroyd tried to kind of push you off before he stood up, but it didn't work, and you're kind of lying just behind Murgatroyd's feet now.
I'll grab Murgatroyd to stand up and kind of haul myself up using Murgatroyd.
Okay, so you guys are technically occupying the same space, which means that you are squeezed into this space, which means you move at half speed and you're going to grant combat advantage and stuff like that. However, Vince can use your move action to step out of that square if you want, but it means you can't attack.
No, I'll attack.
All right.
Do some double dragon stuff.
Yeah, back to back, like in that game, Army of Two.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. Which one are you attacking, Vince? Are you attacking over top of Murgatroyd's head, or are you attacking the one that...
the cursed one.
The cursed one, yeah. So you are. You put one hand on the top of Murgatroyd's helmet and reach your trident over in like a overhand tennis smash attack. Oh, my God. Doing max damage, too. Nicely done, Vincey. All right. Vince, yeah, you whip your trident overhand and bring it down into the top of that creature's head, cutting a big chunk of the human's scalp, which has been shaved and adorned with some very snakish tattoos, but not anymore, because you just scalped a big chunk off the side of his head, and one ear is gone. The blood is flowing down his neck and torso. That creature is bloodied. Jack, your turn.
Okay. How deep of water is that one in?
He is in about knee-deep water, and it looks like the water gets even deeper as you go closer to that corner of the room.
Okay. Jack's gonna walk up and using his good hand, he's gonna grab him by the throat and start choking him out with the intention of killing him.
Excellent. Make a grapple check, please. That's strength mod plus half level versus his fortitude. Unfortunately, you get over there and trying to do it one-handed, get a grapple onto this guy. His neck is thick and beefy. These guys are quite strong. And he just swats your hand away and hisses at you.
I'm going to insult him.
In which language?
My native tongue, because he might have heard it before, maybe, possibly.
Okay, so you go moo, moo, moo.
No. More dwarven.
Oh, more dwarven. Okay.
Remember, raised amongst dwarves, right?
Right. Oh shoot, that's my bad. I forgot. You guys should have been secondary poison attacks on every one of these attacks that have hit. I think Vince and Elliott are the only ones who haven't gotten hit yet from the big swords.
No, I got hit
saved.
too.
You got hit too. It's all right. That's my bad for forgetting. Anyway, Tim, your turn after Jack is done.
I'm gonna make one of my encounter powers this time. Try and take this guy down that I've been fighting. It's a word of befuddlement, which is versus will.
Okay. Oh,
Nat 20.
Nice. That definitely is.
You probably have to roll some extra d6s if you have your magical weapon of some kind.
Yeah, I forgot. Is your mace magical?
No, it's not. I just have a holy symbol.
Right. Does this power say implement in its keywords?
Nope. Divine runic weapon. Those are its keywords.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you could have used the weapon. If it says implement, then you can use your holy symbol. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to look that up. Man, this is new for me. A bunch of stuff I have to look up. Must be a while since we played.
My understanding with the holy symbol was that I could just hold it in one hand, and then it just gave me, I think it's +2 to attack and +2 to damage. I think that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. It does. For anything that has divine in the keyword, but I'm not sure when you add your bonus dice if it says implement or says divine. I'm gonna have to look that up again. So for now, we'll say that it doesn't. But,
okay.
But we'll look it up. Excellent. And what else does it? What are the effects of the befuddlement?
It's a pretty basic thing, but it's mine. Until the end of my next turn, the target takes -5 penalty to attack rolls against my allies who aren't adjacent to it.
Okay. Excellent.
So I guess only Jack, but
And Elliott. Would you like to
yeah.
move, Tim, or stay where you're at?
yeah, I'll stay where I'm at.
Yeah.
So is that is that double damage for him, or?
Oh, because you got a crit. Oh, it should be max damage. That's right. Sorry. Oh my god. It's been too long since we've had combat, you guys. We've been doing a lot of talking for forever. The last combat we saw was Arwen versus Herpes.
Yeah.
So, sorry, yes. So it should be 2d8 plus 6, which is 16, 22 points of damage.
Cool. Oh, except I think would be 20 points damage because 2 of those points come from the holy symbol, I believe.
No, you'll get the bonus to the damage. I'm just not sure if you get the crit bonus. So when you're attacking with a magic weapon and you crit, you add an extra d6 for every bonus it is, right? So
Oh, really?
Murgatroyd's got, what, +2 on diplomacy?
Yeah.
So when he crits, he rolls an additional 2d6 bonus damage. And Vince's trident is a +5, so when he hits, he rolls a bonus 5d6 damage on a crit.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, but we're not sure if the implements will do that for powers that don't have implement in the keyword. That might be a wizard thing instead of a rune priest thing. I never played
Yeah,
a
I
rune
don't
priest,
think-
so I have to look it up.
I misunderstood before. I don't think that I don't think I get a bonus with my implement. I think it's only the +2 bonus to attack and +2 bonus to damage. So I don't
Right.
believe I get any extra dice.
Yeah, we'll look it up.
What you need is an implement mace.
That
Yeah,
would be a
just
good
like-
idea.
Put it right into the mace.
Yeah, just
All right, so we're going to start at the bottom here. So this the snake tongue warrior is going to attack Murgatroyd because you got him marked. He's no, even with the combat advantage, but you're squeezed. No, can't get double combat advantage. It's still only 26 versus your AC. So
getting closer.
not enough. And he's going to shift to there, and then this guy is going to shift to there. And he's going to attack Vince. And he got an... are you back, Mitch?
Yep.
Excellent. So he got an 24 versus your AC.
That's a hit.
Ah, excellent. His greatsword whips around for 13 points of damage. And he laughs. All right. The snake tongue warrior guy over here is going to... having one hand off of his greatsword to bat Jax's hand away, he quickly turns that hand around to grab at Elliott grab him by the throat.
Bring it.
There's a 19 versus your fortitude.
That's a hit.
All right, so you are now grappled by this guy, the snake tongue guy. Yeah, they don't have any action points or anything like that, so he can't do anything with you until the next turn. But he's got you by the throat. Elliott, your turn.
Would a riposte, would his next action count as an attack? Like, if I do a riposte strike, can I still interrupt before he gets to do his thing, do you think?
No, well, it depends.
Right.
If you do a riposte strike against him and he tries to attack you, then yes. But if he tries to throw you or just squeeze your throat with his hand, then your riposte won't happen.
Okay, I'm just gonna go for a sly flourish.
Okay.
Get my blade in there. Cut him up. Damn.
You have combat advantage because he's grappling you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So 23 versus AC.
That hits.
For 22 points of damage. Man, I missed this bloodsteel dagger.
Yeah, you slam the dagger up into his guts, and you feel it take purchase in a very satisfying way. He grits his teeth, and his eyes narrow at you.
I'm going to use my my escape artist feat to attempt to escape the grapple as a minor action.
All right. So it's your acrobatics versus his fortitude, or your... acrobatics versus his reflex, or athletics versus his fortitude.
Acrobatics.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Try to run up him and backflip out of it.
Yeah, something like that. You quickly twist your head around and pivot on the ball of your toes, using the momentum from the pulling your dagger out of his stomach to spin yourself down, targeting the weak part of a grip, which is always the thumb. You're able to pull yourself out of the chokehold. You still have a move action if you'd like to use it.
I would. It's difficult terrain in there?
Yes. If you go... This square is not difficult terrain, but the two squares that are adjacent to him are difficult terrain.
I'm going to shift to here.
Okay. Murgatroyd, your turn.
Alrighty, I will shift one of my adjacent to Mitch enough to get the bonus from here, or do I need to just go
Nope.
here?
You are still adjacent enough to Mitch to get the bonus there.
Alright, I'll smack him.
Unfortunately,
Not enough.
not bonusy enough. You still do your reaping strike damage, though.
Yeah.
I'll attack this guy again.
That is a hit.
14.
All right. This cursed and bloodied creature once again suffers a slicing attack from Vince's racist trident, but he does not fall. Jack, your turn. Oh, unless, Vince, you want to move.
Nope. Shift, I guess.
All right, Jack, your turn. Oh, and we just lost Seth.
Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why that did that, but got my move planned out.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab this guy by his jaw. Like, I'm going to stick my hand in his mouth and grab his lower jaw.
Okay.
What do I got to roll?
Same deal. Strength versus his fortitude to initiate a grapple. Unfortunately not. You try to get in there. Or maybe it's versus reflex. Anyway, either one. They're about the same. So you try and grab a hold of this guy's face, but he just jerks his head aside, and you end up grabbing some of his hair, which you yank out, holding a few strands of this greasy black hair. Oh, no, these guys are shaved bald. So, yeah, you grab nothing. Your hand kind of smacks the side of his face, but you're unable to gain purchase.
You know what? I'm going to action point and do it again.
Okay, I like your style. Oh, critical
Yes!
success. That's what we like to see. So, yeah, after you bat the side of his head, you just bring your hand in and your fingers touch his cheek right at the jawline. And using that as a guide, your thumb finds immediately purchase into his mouth, past his teeth, and grab his cheek. So now you're squeezing. I'm going to say you do your strength modifier damage to him. What's your strength mod?
Mod or mod and half level?
Just mod.
5.
Jesus. All right. You hear a crunching sound and you feel blood trickle out of this guy's mouth as you've essentially torn a big part of his cheek out. I'm going to say one of your gnarly thumbnails is kind of driven inside of his mouth, and his eyes are open wide, and he's going, whoa, 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 whoa.
You're my pet now.
Oh my God. You guys are like, shit, Jack's gone over to the dark side. Hatim, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna do my Flames of Purity. So 22 versus AC.
That hits. Which guy are you targeting?
It's Close Blast 3.
Oh, okay. So that'll hit, we'll say, this guy, and then you need to make another attack roll for this guy. Oh. My God. Nicely done, sir.
Wow.
So, yeah.
When the natural 20s come up, they come up in pairs, it seems.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's see. 1d8 plus 6 max damage for that one is 14.
And Murgatroyd and Vince.
Oh, we lost you.
Murgatroyd and Vince, I think you guys are still in the blast. It'll be, you guys have a +3 power bonus to damage rolls until the end of my next turn.
Awesome. The holy fire ignites under Hatim's dancing feet and spreads out in a glorious circle, catching both of these two snake tongue warriors aflame. This one over here, the blood, the burning crackles his skin enough that the blood starts to flow. He is now bloodied. And the fire, when it reaches Murgatroyd and Vince, rises up through your bodies and settles onto the ends of your weapons. So they are now lit with a holy fire. Although on Vince's, it quickly tarnishes and turns to a red flame.
Awesome.
All right. So the we're snake tongue guys get to go now. This one is going to shift to there and hold his action until this one shifts to there, so that they can both attack Murgatroyd with combat advantage. First one missed. Oh, the second one got a 26, 28 versus your AC.
Oh, that hits.
Oh, and then I rolled minimum damage, 4 points of damage. But he hit you.
Can a snake man fist pump since y'all pumped up?
Yeah, the two snake men, they give each other the snake men nod, which is the opposite of the dwarven. Where the dwarven nod is the kind of the downward jerk of the head. The snake man is more like the what up, bro, kind of upward jerk of the head. And then this snake guy up here is going to... Oh, yeah, he's got... Jack's holding him by the face. So, I'm going to say that because you got a crit, he cannot escape this turn. And he also cannot attack you because he's got a greatsword. So he's just going to try and punch you in the face, Jack. He missed. He clumsily bats you in the side of your chest and shoulder area. You can see that he is obviously panicked and in great pain. Elliott, your turn.
Yeah. Sly Flourish. Let's drop this guy. 28 versus AC.
28 hits.
That's 11 points of damage.
Excellent. Taking advantage of the fact that he is held, Elliott whips his dagger around once more, slamming into this creature's side. You kind of feel it slide between some of the ribs and gain some purchase. It's a dastardly strike. However, he is not bloodied.
Sorry, I forgot that. So he's held, so I get combat advantage?
Yes.
So it's 20 points of damage instead.
Okay.
But still no bloodied?
Oh, nope. Now he's bloodied. That's enough to bloody him.
Awesome.
Murgatroyd, your turn.
They're both bloodied.
Oh yeah, they're both bloodied.
Does any of them look closer to kill steal range?
Yes, the one that you've marked, and Vince is cursed, and you guys have been
Okay.
fighting this whole time.
I'll shift down here, and then I'll try to reaping strike him. Actually, no, I'll just shift down here, and I'll cleave onto him, and then try to hit the other guy.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh, you got a bump point?
Yeah, I think so. One sec. Yeah, I have one.
Excellent. Oh, and the other one takes 3. Excellent. You slide diplomacy across this creature's chest, and you can hear its ribs crack. I guess it's a human. So across this man's chest, you hear his ribs crack, and you can see a definite deformity to the structure of this person's chest cavity. Left to his own devices, he would most likely expire. However, he maintains his footing by use of the greatsword as a sort of makeshift crutch as he stares at you and tenses his muscles as though it looks like he's going to go for one last attack. He is trying to say something, although it's difficult because he can't breathe in because you've collapsed his chest cavity.
I'll use my minor action to make hissing noises.
Vince, your turn.
We'll curse the guy closest to me. Does a 19 hit?
No, a 19 does not hit.
Oh.
You must have rolled really badly.
I did.
So you try and get your trident around, but it's the back end of it is tangled in some of the loose vines and moss that are hanging from this the side of the wall here, and you unfortunately miss. Would you like to move or stay where you're at, Vince?
I'll stay.
Jack, your turn.
I'm going to take this guy whose face is in my hands, and I'm going to slam his face down to the ground, or as
excellent.
best as I can in the water.
Yeah. So contest of strength between you and he. I got a 15. You got an 18.
I got an 18.
Absolutely, yes. You slam his face down. Now, it's about shin-deep water right in front of you, so you slam his face under the water, and you're now holding him down. You can see a bunch of bubbles and stuff come up, and I will give him a breath gauge now.
Yep, and if there's any kind of ready or held action I can do, I'm going to be trying to hold him in place.
Perfect. I guessed as much. Doesn't matter. Hatim, your turn. I'll just keep track of it on a dice here in front of me.
I'm gonna run up to this. Run up to this guy who looks like he's dying and just make a basic. So 26 versus AC and 12 points of damage.
Nice. All right, so speaking of kill steals, Hatim nimbly steps over this little lip where the stairs start to go down, and just whispering a quiet thanks to Hala, steps forward and drives his mace into this creature's, this poor human's face. You hear his nose bone crunch, and the blood flowing up from his collapsing lungs meets the blood flowing down from his destroyed septum, and he gurgles and collapses on the ground. Snake Tongue Warrior number 2 over here calls out something in his snaky tongue, shifting over to here and attacking Hatim. Does a 24 hit your AC, Hatim?
Yeah.
Max damage, 14 points of damage. And does a 15 hit your fortitude?
No.
All right, you are not poisoned. The Snake Tongue Warrior that you've pinned under the water is going to attempt to escape. I got a 16 versus your fortitude, Jack.
Versus my fortitude?
Yes.
No.
All right, he's struggling, but he is unable to break free. Elliott, your turn.
Okay. And I'll sly flourish this guy here.
Okay.
Is he pinned or anything?
Nope.
And do I get combat advantage with Murgatroyd here?
No.
Okay, can I have one more square, so I'll just go that last square.
He'll get an opportunity attack.
That's fine.
I failed. I rolled low.
So
26 is a hit.
It's 29 and 19 points of damage. Dig that dagger right into the base of his back.
You do. You slam it right into where his kidneys are, and you can see the dark blood flow forth, and you're like, ooh, that pierced either the liver or the kidneys, something vital. You don't bleed that color unless it's really bad. Murgatroyd, your turn.
Man, these guys will not go down.
Can I
Speak for
charge
yourself.
into this space and hit the guy?
Yes.
And because I'm short, will it count as if I'm swimming?
No. It's even there, it's still only going to be like waist deep water for you. To get any bump points that involve swimming, you have to be over your head. If you get out here into these 4 squares, it's over your head.
Okay. Well, I'll just shield bash him.
Excellent. Do you get opportunity attacks when you're shield bashing?
Actually, if I use my Rhino Strike, I don't.
Okay, beauty.
So it's the same bonus.
14, so it'll be a 16, and then he's prone, so 18, and then +1 because you're charging 19 versus his AC. Unfortunately,
No, it's reflex.
versus his reflex. Thank you. Then that is a hit.
Please tell me that knocks some air out of him.
It will.
It knocks him prone, and I can push him a square. Can I
He's
push
already prone.
push him into the water?
If you push him a square, you'll break the grapple that Jack has on him.
Okay, I can't push him downwards.
No, you can't push him downwards. There's nowhere else to go. So yeah, you bring diplomacy around, and because he's mostly underwater, diplomacy makes a huge splash as you slam diplomacy into the water, but you feel it connect with this creature's shoulder and forearm, shoulder and bicep area, and there's some definite crunching. So you can't see necessarily what's going on through the dark and murky water, but you know you scored a brutal hit. Vince, your turn.
I'm gonna charge, or I can't charge. I need 2 squares, right?
Correct.
Can I charge from here?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll do that.
So Vince does a total Jason Statham and runs over to the wall, jumping off of it with 1 foot. Oh, but it's really mossy and slimy, so I'm going to say make a acrobatics check at DC 14, Vince.
Oh god.
Nice.
That's a bad roll. So yeah, you end up you kind of slip your foot off the wall and swing around, banging your hip against the wall. Your clothes are all covered in this slimy moss now and everything. Ooh, and I'm actually going to make a attack versus your reflex for one of those spiny plants that Jack ran into. Oh, I'm guessing a 5 doesn't hit your reflex.
No.
So you avoid one of those spiny, spiky plants that pricked Jack. But unfortunately, that's the end of your turn. Jack, your turn. Good try, though,
I'm-
Vince. I like it when people try and do stuff that's fancy. Not just because there's a chance that they'll fail and it'll be hilarious, but when it works, it's great. Like when Jake did the switcheroo with the Beholder. That was awesome.
Jack is going to continue bashing this thing against the ground under the water.
All right, so you do your strength mod damage again. That's 5, I believe.
Yes.
Perfect, and that knocks some more bubbles come warming up to the surface. You can feel him like trying to pry open your fingers to get himself free. Hatim, your turn.
I'm going to try and take out this other guy as well.
Do you want to shift so you can get combat advantage with Elliott?
Yes, I would like to.
Good call.
Much lower this time. Only 14 versus AC.
14 is not a hit. Unfortunately, the snake man sees your attack coming and is able to duck his head out of the way from your holy mace. He will, however, return the attack against you, Hatim. Oh, I rolled poorly. And then he'll shift to there. All right, the snake tongue under the water is going to try and escape again. Oh, God. 13 versus your fortitude, Jack.
How much?
13.
Oh, yeah, that's a miss.
All right, more bubbles come up. You can sense that his fight is growing a little bit weaker. Elliott, your turn.
Okay. Geez, yeah, I guess let's do this. I'm gonna scoot over to here. I'm guessing I incur attack of opportunity.
You sure do. Ooh, I rolled really well too. That is a 32 versus your AC.
That's a hit.
And max damage, 14 points of damage.
Ow.
So yeah, you almost kind of run half into the blade of the greatsword, which now as you go past it, it's all notched and stuff like a saw blade. Cuts up your side, and then does a 21 hit your fortitude.
Yep.
You are poisoned.
All right. Finish this shit. 28 versus AC
That is a hit.
for 18 points of damage.
All right. After dragging yourself along the chipped sawtooth edge of the sword, Elliott's rage and pain focus onto the point of his knife, and he drives it into the chest of this creature. Unfortunately, you just miss his heart and his lungs. So you drive it like straight into the center of the chest. You maybe hear the sternum scrape and crunch. He is still standing and looks as though he's going to attack. He focuses his
neck a potion on at the end of my turn.
You're just standing there holding the knife, and you look him dead in the eyes and take a sip from the potion. It's badass. Maintain eye contact the whole time. He watches you, and as a little bit of air escapes from his lungs, you hear him whisper the word Azrai. Save versus oh no, you can't save yet. Sorry. Murgatroyd, your turn.
I'm assuming since he's got his head underwater, he can't really attack of opportunity.
No, he cannot.
I guess I'll move here and here. It's difficult terrain, is it?
Yeah, it's difficult terrain, and there you're in about neck deep water.
Can I doggy paddle?
Yes, you can doggy paddle. But the first thing you got to do is make a strength check at like DC 18. Oh, so you take your boots off the ground, and the weight of your armor and kit and everything like that immediately drags you to the bottom. But through sheer strength, you're able to force yourself to swim with all this extra weight, and you get your head back up above the nasty, scummy water. You see the Murgatroyd's got like a lily pad stuck to his cheek, everything like that, as he resurfaces, his eyes wide. But now you are swimming.
Sweet. Can I try to attack the guy while swimming?
Yes. I gotta say, I don't know, minus something. Yeah, you missed anyway. So reaping strike damage.
Yeah.
This is making my day. Vince, your turn.
Can I throw my trident?
Yes.
Sweet.
It's going to be an unfamiliar weapon. You've never really thrown it before.
So I don't get my proficiency or anything doesn't carry over, or
Did we actually get you trained in the use of a trident? I forget.
yeah.
Oh, okay, excellent. Then yeah, go right ahead. There's no penalties.
Sweet.
It's also considered like a heavy thrown weapon, right? So it's like totally awesome to throw.
Yeah.
Crit fail.
Please make a secondary attack roll against Elliott.
I'll
Not
use my
continue.
bump this time, I guess.
Please don't hit me with that.
Hit Tim's right in the way.
It would have been way more funny for him to hit Elliott.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, your trident lands in this square over here.
Oh man.
Jack, your turn.
So, since I have it, since I'm holding onto its mouth, can I shove my fist further down its throat?
You
Like,
only
can
have
I-
one thumb in its mouth. So you'd have to let go of the side of its head, and to put your, or you could try and stick your other hand into its mouth, if you want. Your swollen and badly damaged hand.
Well, that hand's strapped to a shield, so
Right.
that's not going to work. Not for what I want to do. Yeah, I'm just going to try to just shove my good hand, the one that's already holding on to the mouth, down its throat.
All right, yeah, you regain purchase on his jawline with your big fat minotaur fingers and stick your thumb. You feel your thumb slide down his cheek into his mouth, into his esophagus, prying it open. This is it was perfect because the last time you feel the water rush past your thumb knuckles as he can't hold on anymore and actually takes a breath in. His lungs fill with water and his body starts to convulse and go limp.
I proceed to fist his throat.
This is pretty
Yikes.
pretty dark. Yeah, that's it's a good thing
Yep.
that Arwen isn't here because she'd be arresting you right now.
She'd be distracted by the other ones.
Yeah. It's a good thing your god is who your god is.
It's a good death. It's a natural death.
It's
Kind
not, it's a very unnatural, but it is a deserved death, according to the auspices of the Raven Queen. This was an evil person, and so it was a good thing that you killed them in whatever way possible. Your god does not concern herself with the details of the death, just as long as the death took place. She's a very the ends justify the means death.
So, does that count for my kill something with my bare hand?
Yes, that definitely counts for kill something with your bare hand. All right, this snake tongue guy over here is going to plant his foot and bull rush Elliott. So I got a 16 and 6 is 24 versus your fortitude.
That's a hit.
All right. He pushes you off this ledge and into the water. Make a, I'm going to say, dexterity save at DC 18. So that'll be Dex mod plus half. Unfortunately, Elliott, you land ass first and on the stairs, so you're completely submerged in the water.
Ugh.
And make another dexterity check, but it's only DC 10. You do not lose the sunrod. However, for a moment, the sunrod dips below the surface of the water, illuminating the nasty, green, stagnant nature of this pond.
Grody.
And then, yeah, he shifted into your square, and that was his go. Elliott, take 5 points of ongoing poison damage.
Oh, no, the potion I took was one of the 15
Oh,
save
perfect. Okay.
status. That's why I didn't put the token on me.
Okay, excellent. In that case, it's your turn, Elliott.
Okay. Can I still hit him from where I am, or am I prone technically?
You're technically prone.
Okay. Can I if I get myself to my feet, can I slice at his like legs from where I am?
You can, but you're going to be at -2 to hit.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I'll stand up and attack.
All right.
Oh, that's a crit.
Nice. Perfect timing. Elliott sloughs up out of the water, kind of cascading it off the side of his head in classic emerging from a swimming pool, sexy lady way. And, okay. What's your damage on this?
1 second. So 8 plus. I don't get full damage on the sneak attacks. I don't think, right?
No. You don't have combat advantage or anything on him.
No, but right, yeah. 18 damage.
You critted, so it's actually max damage.
Oh,
and then plus
sorry.
your additional d6s for the Bloodsteel Dagger.
So no. My damage on the Bloodsteel Dagger does 2d4 plus 2, and then but that. So it's 8 plus 8, so 16. So that's actually 18 plus 16, which is 32.
32, excellent. So I'm going to say that
34. Sorry, go ahead.
Elliott plants his feet. Perfect. Here's exactly what Elliott does. Elliott plants his feet on the stairs, whipping up with the Bloodsteel Dagger. He drives it into the shin of this guy, who screams in pain and starts to fall prone. And as he's falling forward, Elliott's other foot comes down on the base of Vince's trident, and it catches on the bottom of the stair and props sticking straight up, points to the air, and the snake man who's falling forward, gripping the shin in agony, falls onto the trident, impaling its face.
Does that count as a kill for me?
Better not.
He's dead.
All right.
They're all dead. Jim.
Okay. I'm gonna climb up and ask the Jurek guys if they're all right. Like, are they poisoned?
They kind of shake their heads and they look at you and go, "We are okay.
All right.
Thank you. You saved us.
How long have you been here?
We just came here today, trying to go to Anwar." Points to you.
Right. Okay, well...
The woman speaks to the other guy in Jurek. And he says,
I do speak Jurek. It's one of my languages.
Oh, you speak Jurek? Okay,
yeah.
Excellent.
I speak Jurek, Anurian, the Five Peaks Dwarven or whatever, the Sylvan, Elven, and Goblin.
Oh, perfect. In that case, you understand her, and she says, "Are they going to let us go?"
I'll say back, yes. No, we're here to help. We're here to clear out the temple.
Oh, excellent. As soon as you speak to them in Jurek, they start speaking to you back in Jurek. And they thank you greatly. They're like, "Oh, you speak Jurek. Oh, we have been fleeing. There's conflict in the north. Terrible, unstoppable armies sweeping south and east, but they have met up against the White Queen's army, and they are battling there. That should slow them down, but the Jurek people trapped in the middle are suffering the most. So we're refugees trying to get down to Anwar and seek shelter there." They say, "Is there safe passage for us now?"
If they get back outside, like, how hard would it be for them to get to that dwarven tunnel?
Not difficult at all. There's a well enough findable path. There's a findable path.
Okay. I'll I guess this is like the first room, right? I'll take them back to the exit and just kind of point them in the direction of the give them directions to the dwarven tunnel.
Excellent. They thank you once again, and they ask who you guys are. What's your name?
We're the Rod Stewards.
They say, they say thank you. They say it is a blessing to find such good and righteous adventurers. We bid you good luck in taking out the rest of the temple. They say, be wary though. There are some very large snakes. They killed the man says, they killed my brother, and they were about to feed him to one of those large snakes just before you guys showed up.
I see. Did you only see that one room?
Yes, we only saw the first room.
Okay. I say snakes won't be a problem, and I'll kind of gesture around to all the snakes and hiss like protect, well, just watch over these refugees and go back in.
Okay. Excellent. What would the rest of you like to do?
And to swim around looking for small critters to attack in the water.
There's like a couple frogs, maybe.
Do they count as my enemies?
They do not count as your enemies.
Oh, alright.
Quick, start a religion where frogs are...
I liked that. That was a bit of a race to see who was going to get the bump point from killing that guy.
Yeah, so I guess I'll put my feet on the ground and just walk from the bottom until I can be not submerged anymore.
Yeah. So both you and Elliott are completely soaked.
Yeah, and I take my hand out of the dead snake's body.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys are...
Wash it off.
The corpse momentarily floats to the surface, and you can see just the wreckage of the side of this thing's face. And you guys all look up at Jack in possibly a new light, as this, all the stories you'd heard about the barbarism of minotaurs, you haven't really seen it from Jack, right? Jack's been like a cleric, a good guy, but here he's just essentially ripped the side of this face off of this other human. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, minotaurs really are bad news. Or can be. I'm sure if Valhalla was here, he'd have some choice words to say.
Something along the lines of damn.
He'd also, have racist things to say about the snake men.
That's true.
And then some more racist things about Jack.
And, the elf.
Well, pretty much everyone.
You should make Sublime a secret elf.
Okay. Vince, are you really going to do 900 bumps of coke?
No.
Okay, good. Just one?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, one's enough. So yeah, you're getting straight. And you hear it almost every time you take the bump point now. You hear Kshatri's voice sighing, satisfied sighs in your mind, or maybe giving a little bit of a woo, yeah, right, every time.
Sorry, gotta cut you off. Phone.
Okay. All right. The room is quiet for a while, except for the sounds of water dripping off Murgatroyd and Elliott.
Can we examine some of the bodies?
Yes.
All right.
You take a look at some of these guys now. They are just humans. They are covered with tattoos and paint to make themselves look more evil. The modifications that have been done to the tongue are the only real drastic modifications to them. They are all shirtless and have trousers on, but the pockets contain only detritus and no valuables. The great swords that they had are in poor shape, but they're still great swords. So if you want to take all the swords and try and sell them in town, you might be able to get some money for them.
We can get them on the way back. We could make piles near doors so that we'd remember to grab them.
Sure.
So as you guys are piling up and everything like that, Elliott, you have you sneeze and you look up in horror. Or you look up at a horrored expression on Hatim's face, and you feel like a big booger came out of your nose when you sneezed. But Hatim, you see on Elliott's face what looks like a giant black booger creeping out of his nose, and it starts to wriggle and try and creep its way back in.
I tell him about it. I guess I just
You just say,
No, I'm going to run over there and try and grapple it. If it looks like it's moving, we'll go over there and try and grapple it. Pull it out of his nose.
All right, Elliott. Hatim suddenly lunges towards your face, trying to grab at you.
I'll lean back. What are you doing?
Say you have something in your nose, man. Except more hurried.
I was going to say, you're really calm about it.
kind of smack my face with my hand.
Yeah, you reach up and you feel too. You're like,
That's
it's
just
the
going to
booger,
creep him out
but
more,
then
man.
when you
Is this
grab
this
it,
is-
it kind of
this
wiggles.
is Elliott,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll just keep going for it. Keep trying to reach for it.
All right, Elliot.
I'll just be like, dude, just let me get it.
I'll smack my face with my hand.
Yeah, you reach up, Elliot, and you feel like it's a booger. It's a booger, but when you grab it, it moves between your fingers, and then it just kind of slides out, like when you try and pick up a slug. Tim, you step forward and prepared with your fingernails, grab a hold of the tail of this thing and yank it out. Elliot, at first, it feels like he's trying to pull out a part of your brain. But then there's a little tugging sensation, and then when you pluck your nose hairs, you get that sting, and then the burning and your eyes water. And Tim has produced a 4-inch long leech out of your nose. Take 3 points of damage and lose a healing surge, Elliot, as this leech is quite full of blood.
I'm going to. Can I
This is
identify?
considered an enemy.
Yes,
Can I
it is
identify
considered
which-
an enemy.
Can I identify which kind of leech it is? Is it a natural leech?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, it's the large, nasty variety of a natural leech.
Okay. Maybe I'll just put it on the ground and step on it.
Okay. It bursts like a tiny ketchup packet, and you can see, a couple ounces of Elliot's blood squirt out onto the muddy ground.
Gross.
Brutal.
All eyes turn to Murgatroyd, who is also swimming.
Yeah, I'm gonna check my person for leeches.
No one pee in the water.
The dreaded Kandiru. Excellent. Yeah, Elliot, you start, patting off your shirt, and there are a couple more leeches. You're able to pluck these ones off using your knife, so you don't take any damage or lose any more healing surges. And Murgatroyd, likewise, you get some assistance from Jack or Vince or whoever you feel comfortable with, lifting up parts of your armor and checking under your beard, and you have, about half a dozen leeches on you as well. You're able to remove them all, Murgatroyd, take 4 points of damage and lose a healing surge.
All right. Well, as I kill one,
Okay,
I want to
use
jump in
leeches?
the water and start swimming around.
Okay.
Can I take his leeches?
Yes, you can take his leeches.
Can I put them in my little bag of coke?
Yes, you can. They immediately start flopping around and drying up as they're getting absorbed in the cocaine, sucking up their moisture.
Coke jerky.
This is a count as attack something while swimming for my bump.
Yes, but we're gonna role play it out. So you jump back in the water, make a strength check DC 18 to actually swim with all of your armor on and stuff. So Murgatroyd, you sink right to the bottom again, blah, 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 but you're kicking under the water, so it counts as swimming. Now, I guess just make a strength check versus the leech's fortitude. So I'm going to say its fortitude is 13. Excellent. So you crush the leech in your hands under the water. So you've successfully killed an enemy while swimming.
I just had to attack something.
Oh, attack something. Perfect. Yes, you have attacked this leech, crushed it in your hand while swimming.
But I took, 4 points damage, was it?
Yes, from pulling all the leeches off of you.
Now, when I come back out of the water, do I have more on me?
Yes.
Can I take them off again?
You do. Take another 2 points of damage and lose another healing surge. This is the most healing surges Murgatroyd's ever lost.
I need to fight more leech monsters.
I guess so.
Do we want to re-roll our bump points for Jack and I, or
Yeah, we can do that right now.
93?
Oh, just a second, I gotta open it up. 93 is be the only party member alive or conscious at the end of an encounter.
That's going to be a rough go.
And Jack, what did you get?
75.
75 is discover a trap without setting it off. Does anyone else need to roll for one while we got it open?
No.
Okay.
Unless you said I had 4 or 5 leeches. Unless I was surrounded by them at any point during the encounter.
No, that doesn't count.
I mean, I had one of those kill an enemy during their turn. Could have held my action to kill the leech during its turn?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell when a leech is taking its turn.
Right.
All right. The room is once again quiet, except for the sounds of Elliott and Murgatroyd wringing out their clothing.
All right. So this pool down here, are there any obvious exits, or like does it look like it goes particularly deep?
It looks like it goes quite deep, but it's also murky and stagnant water. So even dunking your sunrod in, you're not entirely sure if there are exits. However, the stairs do go down, so there might be a lower level somewhere that is flooded.
Okay.
There is a door over here too.
Yeah, I'll head up and press an ear to that door.
All right, that door is made of rotten and wet wood, and from the other side of the door, you can faintly hear the sounds of splashing and hissing.
All right, I'm gonna get a potion in me.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, unless this counts as a short rest, and I could just spend a healing surge.
You could take a short rest right now, but then you won't get an action point in the next combat.
Nah, fuck that. All right.
Does the door look kickable?
Very.
I will kick it.
Do it.
All right. Murgatroyd kicks that door.